What is going on, YouTube? Hope you're having a great November. We are well underway into the holiday season here pretty soon. And on this video, I want to talk about 4 reasons why you need the carnivore diet, why I think it's absolutely critical, why for most people, it's probably one of the best things they can make a decision to do in 2019 heading into 2020. So the first reason is elimination. This diet is a powerful elimination. If you've ever heard of the Whole30, this is a really popular diet back recently. And the idea was that you eliminate foods that can be triggering. For a lot of us, as we go through our diets, as we go through our lives, there are things in our bodies that we're doing to ourselves that is slowing us down, that is causing inflammation, is causing leaky gut, is causing an allergic reaction, is causing histamine buildup. And all of these things can slowly creep up and can be unnoticeable over time. But when you do an elimination diet and you really clean up what you're experiencing, you're gonna find that your body and yourself and your clarity and your focus and your cognitive performance, as well as your athletic performance, can really escalate quite effectively, and you can be at a level that you never realized you were at before. They say that people who are sleep deprived are somewhat like people who are intoxicated, in the sense that their judgment and their understanding of how reduced their ability to focus and perform is very much limited. So it's kind of like being inside a pool and not really knowing that you're in the water. When you're in the water, you don't really realize that you're in the water. You have to kind of see outside looking in that you're actually in the water. And the same goes for sleep deprivation or for substance abuse. A lot of people that are on these sort of things, it's essentially the idea is that you don't realize how poorly you're performing relative to where you could be. And the same thing is happening in your diet. You are putting in your body things that are affecting you, and it's subtle, but you're adding these things up, and over time, your body's breaking down, your performance is limited, you're inflamed, you're dealing with issues, and it's not helping you, it's hurting you. So, the number 1 reason, it's a powerful elimination diet. And the way it's eliminating is you're gonna really restrict all the foods down to just animal foods, get rid of all plant molecules, and focus more and more on red meat, and specifically grass-fed beef to start. When I was eating a variety of foods, one of the big go-tos I had was I would make a smoothie with like berries, cacao nibs, kale, spinach, some whey protein, almond butter, and some honey. And I thought this was like the powerhouse smoothie that was giving me the variety of like superfood nutrients that I really wanted. But I had all these gut issues, and when I removed that over time and really shifted the carnivore diet, I found I just felt so much better. And it wasn't this idea that I needed all of these different foods to get all my nutrition. It's really the idea that your body is this jet engine that's evolved over millions of years on a specific diet. It wasn't like our ancestors roamed the safari and they were flown in different varieties of plant foods that were genetically modified so you could eat them, or prepared in mass amounts that you could do. I see this in myself. If I eat almonds, for example, which I used to snack on all the time, I feel inflamed. I don't feel as good. My digestive system kind of feels a little bit blocked up because of the fiber. And when I eat chocolate, the same thing happens. I can get a really high quality, quote unquote, high quality organic dark chocolate from Whole Foods. And if I eat that, after about the first piece, I start to feel this sort of like blockage and pain and cramping in my gut. And maybe it's partly because I'm not used to the actual fiber anymore, but what I find is that the food itself doesn't benefit me anymore. I'm not seeing the benefits that I once saw. The clarity, the focus you get when you eliminate a lot of these items, I think you're gonna find is probably analogous to the idea that if you're running a car and you keep putting in maybe a little bit of diesel or a little lower octane fuel, or just picking up dirty gasoline and pouring it in there, yeah, it'll run, but it's not gonna optimally run. And again, our human body is probably designed to take in some of these plant foods, and we probably evolved where we couldn't necessarily always eat animal foods because they just weren't always available to us. But if we look at our biology and the way we've sort of transition and really become the humans that we are with our larger brains, it seems like the nutrient-dense animal foods is really where you go and really where we optimize, and eliminating a lot of these triggering foods that are causing leaky gut, inflammation, anxiety, issues with thyroid. There are so many things that plants can do, that they want to do, to prevent themselves from being consumed by predators. Which leads me to point 2. One of the reasons why this diet is going to be so great is because it's low inflammatory. It's going to be more heavy in omega-3 fats instead of omega-6 fats, which are largely found in plant molecules in plants. And it's going to give you less of the triggering compounds that you get in plants. So as we've discussed in many of my videos, the reason for a lot of people to do the carnivore diet is because they want to eliminate things. But the other big reason is because plant molecules can be quite triggering for a lot of people. There are things like sulforaphane, curcumin, resveratrol, polyphenols. All of these plant molecules are touted by the companies that sell them as all the benefits that they have. But the reality is that there's also quite a bit of information out there that shows that there are some net negative effects to these plant molecules that can really affect people. And some of those things is around inflammation and damaging the DNA, the gut, and other issues that they have been sort of designed by the plants to affect. Omega-6 fats tend to be inflammatory. Omega-3 fats tend to be anti-inflammatory. And for human beings, the primary source of omega-6 fats is going to be things like corn, soy, sunflower, nuts, seeds. These are all plant-based compounds, molecules. The omega-3 fats like fish, grass-fed beef, wild game, these foods are gonna have much more of a better balance in favor of what we want, which is anywhere from a 4 to 3 to 1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. Which leads me to point 3, brain health. The actual brain of the human being seems to well correlate with our evolution into carnivory. We saw humans really see their brain sizes enlarge and explode when we started eating more animal foods. And also we saw our guts shrink down to process less of the actual plant foods. There are some key nutrients in our environment that we cannot get that are essential for our brains. Essential nutrients by definition are nutrients that you cannot produce within your body, that you must consume from your environment, from your diet. And 2 really, really big ones that you must have for your brain are B12 and DHA. You do not get either of these molecules from plants. If you're eating a plant-based diet, you probably have to supplement these molecules, and some of them can be converted. ALA from plants can be converted to DHA, but the conversion ratio is very ineffective. It's very, very low. A lot of individuals who have gone on a heavy plant-based diet and switched back to adding in animal foods will say that they finally got their brain back, that they finally feel the mental fog has lifted. And what we hear though is that they feel really good initially on a plant-based diet, but then slowly the plant and the lack of nutrients, of these critical essential nutrients that your brain needs, not being introduced in the diet, take their toll, and they no longer have the ability to sort of operate and perform at the level that they were when they were getting these nutrients directly from the animal foods that they needed. Again, one of the main reasons, the third point here around why the carnivore diet is really going to be beneficial to you and why you need it is because of brain health. The DHA, the B12, these key essential nutrients that you will have serious health issues with if you do not provide in a very high quality bioavailable form. The fourth point why you need the carnivore diet is because of the physical optimization. In terms of all these points we've just discussed, you're getting key essential nutrients for your brain and your nervous system. You're dealing with lower inflammatory items in your diet. You're also reducing and eliminating foods that can be triggering and inflaming to you. And all of this combines to really give you peak optimization for your biology, for your hormones. Because the carnivore diet is ketogenic, you get a lot of the fat that your body needs to produce cholesterol for the hormones. The majority of your body's hormones are produced from cholesterol, which is made within your body. The majority of your cholesterol in your body is made from your body. So when you're giving your body a high fat diet, which is hard to do when you're doing all plants, when you're doing a vegan diet, you are essentially giving your body the building blocks, the fuel it needs to produce the hormones like melatonin, testosterone, progesterone, cortisol, all the hormones that your body really needs, whether it's anabolic or catabolic, to help build yourself up and to fuel yourself to really, really be the optimal version of your body that you can possibly experience. There's another saying that plants tend to be stressors and protein and animal foods tend to be structures. So the idea that when you're eating animal protein, you're getting the complete essential amino acids, and these are structured parts of your diet that you need, where plants have this stressing effect because of their compounds and their level of toxicity. They cause some stressing effects in our body. Some people argue that the stressing effect is really a hermetic effect, meaning that it's beneficial to us. Others, and I tend to sort of fall into this school of thought, think that the net effect of the stress from the plant molecules is not worth the activation, that hermetic effect. So plants tend to be stressors. Protein and animal foods tend to be structures. There are things in our bodies that is slowing us down. So I hope that helps. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Like, comment, share, and if you're new, subscribe, and thank you so much for tuning in.